First advice, do it.
Today I'm meeting Gaelle Filhol, managing partner at an arbitration boutique here in Paris. Let's go meet her.
Take me to extremes and never wish away the time. We don't need a reason like those countdown days. We don't need a reason countdown days.
Just a few years ago, you transitioned from a large arbitration practice to an arbitration boutique, isn't that right?
I did transition from an American law firm. I had spent 11 years there.
Can you tell us a little bit about that transition?
It was quite strange because I transitioned from an international arbitration team to another international arbitration team. So in that sense, nothing was that different. The team was a fairly large team, one of the largest in Paris, with huge cases from investment arbitration, defense, aeronautics, construction. And so everything looked the same. Similar clients, similar amounts at stakes, similar proceedings, and of course the usual same people in the network. So it was a smooth transition. What was so drastically different was the functioning. And I suddenly became, I transitioned from being a lawyer to becoming a lawyer/entrepreneur, to learning how to understand the strategy of a firm, to having a say on this strategy, which was something that was completely new to me, to having a new interest to human resources, to admin, and all those accounting and financial issues that I had no idea, or almost no idea existed. And that fascinated me so much that I just thought, this is exactly what I was looking for. So I couldn't be more, I couldn't be happier that I transitioned.
You're not only a successful arbitration practitioner, but you're also a mother. What would your advice be to women who are afraid that starting a family might impact or end their arbitration career?
First advice, do it. Whatever you want to do, and this is an advice that I try to give to all the women around me, not only women, just men, just stay true to yourself and be brave. I think this is the most important motto that we can live by. Then, I think that the only advice that I could give is, it's going to be hard, but wait for it, it's going to get better. It always gets better. It's possible. It's just really important to speak with other people and speak out. When you have challenges, at least I'm really speaking of my experience, but the challenges I have faced, I try to use them today to help. I'm just really happy today to just share my experience and say, yeah, sometimes it sucked. Sometimes it was really difficult. Sometimes I felt that I couldn't do both. But I wanted to. I wanted to be a good mom, but at the same time I wanted to have a career. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to have something for myself. And I want my kids to be proud of me. So I teach my daughter how to, have her seat at the table, and she's actually a very strong advocate for women at her school. but so this is something that I wanted for myself, that I wanted for my kids, because we are, if you are a mother or you want to be a mother, you want to be a role model for your children.
When it comes to motherhood, how should young mothers approach their motherhood at the workplace? Is there a professional way to demonstrate your motherhood, or is it more professional to sort of hide it?
First of all, coming with one advice is impossible when it comes to motherhood, when it comes to any important project in the life of someone, because we're all different. We all live motherhood differently. We all live our family and personal lives differently, so it's very difficult to have one advice that would work for everyone. What I can say is, and what I've experienced myself, there are multiple things that a woman could do if she reaches that point where she wants to have a family but she has doubts about it. First of all, find women who will speak up, who are happy to share their challenges, because it's hard. It is hard. Then the second thing is, you have to know your environment, know your audience. If you are in a firm where people do not allow you to put pictures of your kids on your desk, or they do not encourage women to take maternity leaves or the full maternity leave, or any other such thing that do not fit with the way that you see motherhood or how you want to live this experience of being a mother, then it's probably time for a change. And change can be two things. It's either leave the environment where you don't belong, but then the second option is become the boss. And it's actually one of the reasons why we have organizations like Arbitral Women, why we have so many women just speaking up and saying we actually need to be there because we need to make the rules, because some of the rules just don't work for some or many of us.
I live in a dream.
I'm a singer.
You are, because I thought you had a beautiful voice.
Thank you. I really didn't want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a singer. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to be an opera singer or be the next Celine Dion, even though no one compares to Celine Dion. But it's just to make a long story short. No, I really wanted to be a singer. I wanted to do music. And my grandfather had this huge admiration for a very good friend of his who was a lawyer, and who had pulled him out of a very difficult situation, and he always spoke so highly of lawyers. So I just thought, if lawyers are good enough for my granddad, then I'll just study law, and I'll have a good diploma, and then I'll get back to music.
So you had the plan to go back to music eventually?
Yes, that was the plan. I mean, the plan is it's still not completely over. Who knows? Maybe 10 years after I started international arbitration, which is kind of weird, especially now that I realized how enormously valuable it is for every woman in our community. But the reason was that I guess I was in some way the typical woman who does not need help, who does not ask for help. And I was slowly sinking. I was an associate working very hard and a mother working very hard, both at being an associate and at being a mother and at being a wife and at being the perfect woman when, as a matter of fact, because of that, nothing was perfect in my life. And Arbitral Women came at that time, just discussions with Mirez, a dinner at some point in December where I was surrounded by all these women who were so inspiring, but who also spoke of their obstacles and challenges in a very authentic way. And I just felt safe. I felt welcome. I felt that I belonged for the first time in a very long time. And this is when I decided, well, first of all, to change and leave the firm where I was and transition to a smaller firm. And it's also when I decided to become more involved in Arbitral Women. I can't say that I'm really changing the world there at all, because they're so incredible women and very creative, wonderful souls. But yeah, I just wanted to get involved and give back, because they've given me a lot at a time where I needed it.